It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 14th day of September 2021. Coming to you from Bedford County in Central Virginia. So what's up for this morning? A lot going on today again. Tuesday, Travel and Cruise Industry News. Last night's Hurricane Nicholas, now Tropical Storm Nicholas. And it's bearing down on Houston Metroplex. 1/3 of the Norwegian fleet is back at sea. Royal Caribbean updates some more protocols. These for October. CDC raises 3 more destinations to level 4. And we got special reports this morning from Virtuosa, Mardi Gras, Scarlet Lady, and Honolulu. How's that, folks? First, Jason, I have to thank you, Jason Pittsburgh. Jason, thank you for the donation at PayPal this morning. I do appreciate that as always. So, helps support the channel. And I'll say this going in, folks. Also, one of the things that you guys can do that doesn't cost anything is likes. Hit the like button if you like it, or hit the don't like button. One or the other. Just, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. So, all right. Let's talk about what was Hurricane Nicholas. Nicholas is moving slowly toward the Houston Metroplex area. At 8 a.m., the absolute center of Tropical Storm Nicholas was located near Cornwall Lane in the Bushy Lake area of Missouri City, heading toward the Metroplex. Now, if you look at the map I've got up there, folks, the red spot there in the middle, that's the Missouri City section of the Houston metropolitan area. Okay. And keep in mind, folks, as it moves toward that center, toward the Metroplex, that the whoops, what did I do? Okay, back to this one. I went to the wrong. Uh-oh. Did I do that again? Huh. All right, so if I take this off and put that on. Okay, that's a little bit bigger section. I thought I blanked you guys out. Okay. Now, remember the dirty side of the storm is the right side. That's where you get the heaviest rain. Houston is getting some tremendous rain as we speak. Galveston, which is down in the lower right-hand corner there, parts of Galveston's had 18 inches of rain already from this thing. It's going to move slowly. It's moving currently about 8 miles an hour to the northeast. And then eastward by tomorrow as it moves over Louisiana. The whole Gulf Coast is going to get just more rain. And you guys don't need any more rain. But you're going to get some. Could go as far east as the Panhandle. So all across Louisiana, coastal Mississippi, coastal Alabama. You guys are going to get lots of rain. The sustained winds have decreased to about 60 miles an hour. So it has weakened. Now, when it made landfall during the night, it was a Category 1 hurricane. So it was, over 75. So it's weakening some, but still big rain event for all you guys. Hopefully it'll be a tropical depression by tomorrow. Could still get 5 to 10 inches from upper Texas coastal area into central and southern Louisiana, far southern Mississippi, and far southern Alabama, with isolated storm totals of 20 inches across points in Texas and Louisiana. And like I said, already you've had 6 inches in sections of Houston and as much as 18 inches in sections of Galveston, 14 inches pretty much overall in Galveston. Pressure is about 994, so it's still under 1,000. So far, at least as of this morning, there have not been any itinerary or schedule changes for the ship sailing out of Galveston. Of course, we're going to have to probably assess that some after we take a good look at damages. So that's still yet to be seen. But as of this morning, nothing major has changed. Now, if you look at the National Hurricane Center map, we got 2 other systems in the Atlantic to take a quick look at. Over right off Africa, the tropical wave is located just west of the African coast. And it is producing showers and thunderstorms, starting to show some signs of organization. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development of this disturbance over the next several days. Tropical depression is likely to form by the end of the week, while the system moves westward about 15 miles an hour across the eastern tropical Atlantic. Formation chance through the next 48 hours is medium at 50%. Formation chance for the next 5 days is high at 80%. Then over near the Bahamas, an area of low pressure is expected to form by midweek, a couple hundred miles north of the southeastern or central Bahamas as a tropical wave interacts with upper level trough. Some gradual development of this system is forecast thereafter, and a tropical depression could form later this week as well, while the system moves northwestward or northward across the western Atlantic. So you got to keep your eyes open there in Bermuda and on up the east coast of the United States to see what this thing does, because, I mean, there's always changes this time of year. Formation chance through the next 48 hours is low at 30%, but, bumps up to over 5 days is a medium chance of formation at 60%. And then we do have one system on the Pacific side of things. And I don't have the information up on that one. Let's see what I got here. That's unusual for me to make a mistake. Amazing that I would make a mistake, screw something up. Can you imagine such a thing, folks? Boy, I can't. Oh, I see why I don't have it. It died. How about that? The system that shows over the Pacific dissipated. It's gone. Say so long. Okay, so I didn't screw. I thought it screwed up, and that was the screw up. Didn't screw up. How about that? Thinking I screwed up was the screw up. I like it. Okay, Norwegian. That's the epic. Our friend Ben Sousa reports that Royal Caribbean Cruises. That's not that's the next story, dummy. Yeah, that's the epic. With the sailing of the epic and the Norwegian getaway in the Mediterranean, a third of Norwegian cruise line fleet is officially back in service. So the epic and the getaway have joined Encore Gem, Breakaway, and Jade, with Bliss scheduled to start in October. So good signs for our friends over at Norwegian. Royal Caribbean, this is the story from Ben Sousa, our buddy. Royal Caribbean Cruises that depart from October 1st to the 15th out of the U.S. will now have the following health protocols. If a book guest wishes not to follow these protocols, they can cancel and receive a full refund or move their cruise into the future when circumstances may have evolved. So here's the new protocols for October. All guests 12 and older will be required to show proof of vaccination to board a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. The final dose of the vaccine will need to be completed 14 days before the cruise. Guests 12 and older will also need to bring proof of a negative COVID test, antigen, or PCR that was taken no more than 2 days, that's 48 hours, before the cruise. Guests can order an at-home test at royalcaribbean.com home test kit and have it shipped right to their door. And by the way, that did work. The people that tried that this week, it did work, and there was no problems with it. Unvaccinated guests who are 2 to 11 years old will need to bring proof of a negative PCR test that was taken within 3 days of the cruise. That will also be tested at the terminal before the ship, before you can board the ship. For cruises that are 5 nights and longer, they will have to take another test within 24 hours of the cruise ending. Guests under 2 years of age do not have to be tested or wear masks. Masks will be required to be worn anytime you are inside the ship, with an exception of when you are in your cabin actively eating or drinking, or at the venue that was designed for vaccinated guests only. So, a few little slight changes in Royal Caribbean's policies, protocols for October. So, the same basic general rules. There's not anything earth-shattering in that. I think Royal Caribbean is doing a better job of keeping the protocols being used. All right. CDC continues to elevate travel notices in the latest round of updates. 3 more Caribbean cruise destinations are now at level 4. St. Kitts and Nevis, Belize, and Grenada have been updated travel notices due to the growing spread of COVID. A total of 10 Caribbean cruise destinations are now at a level 4. To determine which countries are added to the level 4 list, the CDC factors new cases over the past 28 days per 100,000 population. When that's more than 500 cases, the country could be added. Another factor also depends on the number of people who have tested over the past 28 days. So that's how they come up with it. And still, you know, as far as specifically cruise people are concerned, if you have been fully vaccinated and you're on a cruise ship. Cruise ships now are all sailing with fully vaccinated people except for the kids. So the cruise ships could still land at some of these level 4 areas. Do you want to get off the cruise ship in one of the level 4 areas and go on an excursion or exploring on your own? If that's allowed, that probably isn't allowed, but that would be your choice. Up to you. This isn't mandatory. It's recommended by the CDC. Okay. Several things to keep you updated on and several reports that I have this morning. That's a lovely shot up the front of the MSC Virtuosa. Our friend Gavin of the Cruise Monkeys is on board Virtuosa, as we've mentioned before. They were back in port when he sent this message, which I got it during the night. Getting ready to get off. It's been an enjoyable cruise. Staff have been fantastic and food good. Most guests have followed the rules, But you know, people, some just think of it doesn't apply to them. There's definitely a reduced number of staff in bars and restaurants, but we always manage to get drinks. Also from the MSC Virtuoso, Rachel Brandt, who was another passenger on board, said that she left the ship this morning, had an amazing time. Staff were wonderful and nothing was too much trouble. Met some lovely people and enjoyed every minute of it, apart from when the blackjack table was being a bit naughty and taking my money. I love it, Rachel. We had a super time meeting old and making new friends, looked after by a pleasant crew, and a lovely break from being fed, being fed and watered without having to do it ourselves. What more could we wish for in the middle of a pandemic? Perhaps a little better behavior from some of the passengers. All right, if I don't screw this up, guys. And of course, that's always subject to a screw up. But let's see if I can do it right this time. Well, see, we're going to do this and this and this and this. And where is it? Where is it? I believe it's this one. Maybe. Let's try to share that. Yes, it is. And okay, I got to get out of this. And so I'll come back here and do this. Okay, I didn't screw it up. What do you know? That, of course, was on board on the MSC ship. That was the ropes course. And that was from our friend Emma Watts, who took that. And that was just a neat little sideline for you guys. Okay. Let's move right along here. At least I didn't screw it up. All right. The one thing that I did screw up yesterday was from our friend Cindy in Dallas. And like I started off yesterday, like Hot Air Tom, they had their Hawaiian cruise canceled. So they decided, oh, well, let's just go to Hawaii. It's the first time that they've been back in Hawaii for 50 years. How cool is that? Now, this is looking out from the Club Wyndham Royal Hotel. And Cindy showed us a bunch of lovely hotel room shots around the hotel. Yesterday, she said they took it easy. They're still trying to adjust to the 5-hour time difference. So they just walked around Waikiki Beach and saw many of Duke Kahanamoku statues, along with Prince Kalanileole statue. Oh my God, you can't imagine all the shapes and sizes on the beach. Huh. Yes, I can. I'd be one of those shapes and sizes. And there's one of the statues she was talking about, and that's the Prince. And then she had this morning early, she had a lovely sunrise view from her balcony. So, anyway, she said that going back to the shapes and sizes of people on the beach, they found much the same thing when they were in New Orleans about a month ago. And in Hawaii, you must have your vaccination card and ID to enter all restaurants. Of course, that's not a problem for Cindy and her husband, as they're both fully vaccinated and even have had their booster shots, as I have also. Masks are required while inside all establishments, If you aren't fully vaccinated traveling to Hawaii, you must quarantine for 10 days and show multiple negative COVID tests, but still won't be allowed into any restaurant. Wow. The teriyaki chicken wings were so good we had to place another order. Mark discovered another local beer, Waikiki Craft Light. So there's one beer lovers must try. Make sure my friend Sharon knows about. She's a big beer drinker. She needs to try a Waikiki Craft Light when she goes to Hawaii. We may have to go visit the brewery because Mark wants some more of that. I can see that now. They did find a Safeway grocery store. Cindy said she couldn't believe the last time she shopped in a Safeway. Prices there in Honolulu are a bit higher. After all, everything must be imported. Gas is $4 a gallon for regular unleaded. The international creamer she likes to use in her coffee is $4, a bit higher than she pays in Texas. Of course, Cindy and Mark are from the Dallas area. Red Delicious apples are $1.50 higher in Hawaii than they are here. So a little bit of information coming from Hawaii, even though they lost their cruise, they went on anyway. All right, so I was in contact with our buddy, Shane Lewis Riley from Virgin Voyages. And basically, I said I was really disappointed that there was just no fanfare when the Scarlet Lady arrived in New York. I mean, let's face it, yesterday, Dave Monk had it from over there in the UK, and I had it, and not many others that I know about even mentioned it. So Shane replied back, that's because she was first making her way to Bayonne, that's New Jersey, of course, where she is parked. When she positions round to Manhattan, there are plans. So, even though it hasn't been announced publicly, folks, there it is, straight from the horse's mouth. They got some plans for some stuff in New York with the Scarlet Lady. Not surprised. I thought there would be something going on. We'll hear more about that days ahead. All right, now I got to ask you guys a question, folks. This is something personally I've never done anything like this when I'm on a cruise. I just never seem to think about looking to see what they're offering and take it. But, you know, our friend Sharon Elizabeth is on the Mardi Gras. And she took a cake decorating class. And there you see her with a weapon in hand. And there she is with a finished product. That probably could have been later in the thing here. That's squirting the stuff on through the pastry bags. And then she got to cut into it, and I assume since that's on a plate, she was able to eat at least a piece of cake that she had decorated. How cool is that? So Sharon learned a little bit something about cake decorating. My question is to you guys, do you take classes? I mean, I know especially Holland American is known for stuff they do. All the carnival ships I've been on, I've never done anything like that. Have y'all? I mean, I think it's terrific. A great way to spend some time because you're always looking for something to do, but I usually find something to do in the hot tub or working on my vegetable level or something. All right, so here's the other one, folks. You know our buddy Janine, you know, the river cruise queen, our buddy Ryder over there in the UK. The riverboat cruise queen had a little bit different mode of transportation this weekend. She ran the Great North Run. Now, That's a half marathon, folks. That's 13.1 miles, and there's proof of it. This is Janine's time and stuff. Notice she completed 21.08 kilometers. That's a half marathon. That's 13.1 miles. Her overall pace was 6:13 per mile, or oh no, I don't know if that was per mile or not. That might have been per kilometer. Anyway, it was 6:13. No, it's close to a mile. She ranked out of 23,000 women. She ranked 3,753. That's pretty impressive. Her overall finish was, that's got to be the mile, 6:12 per mile. She ran it in 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 47 seconds. I bowed down to Janine on that one. Holy cow. Now, I did understand, folks, that as soon as the half marathon was over, Janine was worried about the long run causing that she needed to rehydrate, and rehydration was essential. So she discovered the restorative properties of Newcastle gin over there in the UK, since that's where the race was, Newcastle. That's how she rehydrated. Okay, let's go see who's with us today and how much everybody's fussing at me. Of course, Jack's down there, and I've been watching Jack. He's when he posted this, he said the hurricane missed him, but they had low winds and some rain, kept him awake. Now he's in Conroe. Of course, it's still in your area, Jack, because you could still get some wind and rain from it through the day today before it goes on and moves the heck out. Carol's with us, says, good morning, everybody. There's Rob. Rob Simon's with us. Excited to see you continuing more awesome hair. Yeah, I'm thinking about going to get it trimmed up some because it's got coming in thicker and longer in the back. I'm getting more hair every day, obviously. You know, the texture is so totally different than it was before. Again, thank you, Jason. Rob Slevin, hi, I remember you from Uncle Bruce's streams. Nikki's with us down in Jacksonville. Said she's glad Nick passed you by, Jack. Amy's with us. She said, happy Tuesday. Cindy's here. Hello, everyone, she says. Gretchen's with us. Morning, all. Jason, Cindy Lee says, how many more days? Cindy says, 32. Awesome. We are beyond excited. I got my clothes all set out and waiting to be packed. Your clothes set out 32 days in front. Holy God. I'm lucky if I pack 6 hours before I have to leave. Wow. I'm impressed. Jason says, was that a cat? I don't know. I wasn't paying any attention. I got my earplugs in. I don't hear anything. Everything is fine. Stay calm. Yeah, I don't know. Could have been. Maybe the cruise lines will just insist on bubble excursions through the cruise line at a level for ports instead of canceling it altogether. They're running out of ports in the Caribbean. Yeah, I mean, that's, I think that's 10 now, ports that have had, that are level 4. So, yeah, there's quite a few of them. Jason says there have been no cancellations recently. That's good to know. Cindy says, I'm trying to stay calm, Jason. One of my friends on the cruise is having health issues with her husband and a death in the family. I thought she was ready to cancel, but things are looking better now. That's good, Cindy. Glad to hear that one. Tom Henry, where have you been? He says, oops, I'm late. Time getting away from me. Hi there, Tom. We haven't seen you for a while. Hot Air Tom says, I had bliss cancellations last week. Oh, Nikki and he had bliss cancellations last week, and CL canceled all bliss cruises February to August of 2023. Yeah, that's the one I still didn't understand. You know, there's got stuff scheduled now, but they don't have schedule, and they changed the schedule in 23. They got a plan up their sleeves. Jason says he was not on the bliss. I'm glad I didn't book on NCL. Tom says no COVID on NCL. Stay with the COVID barge on Carnival. Well, yeah, that's not necessarily true. I'll fuss at Tom about that one. Although, you know, there's been some problems on some of the Carnival ships. But there have been problems. Folks, I'm just telling you, expect some problems on the ships. But if that kicks in the protocols and the ships handle it right, I got no problem with that. And if they want a good example of how to do it, Celebrity, man, they've got a good handle on it. My problem with MSC and all the business over there with the Virtuoso was not that they had some problems. It was that they weren't very transparent about it. They tried to kind of hide it. And they were doing things really right initially and then changed their policies. And that's when they got in trouble. So this last cruise on Virtuoso appears to be a lot better than the two previous cruises that had a lot of negative going on. So let's see where we are here. Sharon for the win. Yeah. What a pretty cake. Yeah, I agree, Emily. I thought that was cool. I've never done that. Jason says the only class I took was learning how to sail to the Galapagos. That's cool. 6-minute miles. Jason, you know, I'm impressed. I mean, I used to run. I know you don't think I used to run as a fat ass, but I did. But I could never do that distance. I've done a 10K, but I'm not at that pace. 10K, that was 6 miles, 36 minutes. Yeah, no. Nowhere near 6:10 a mile. Nikki says, pretty cake, looks good enough to eat. I agree. How does the color stay on, Chillie? How does that color stay on? On the cake? Blue. I don't know. I'm not a cake maker. They put white on it and they squirt it on top and it chemically compounds. I have no idea. I'm not a cake maker. The leftover hurricane center is located about 70 miles southwest of Conroe. Yeah, I've been following and pulling it up when I get the coordinates on my coordinates map. So Tom Henry says, I guess we can agree Chillie's not dyeing his hair. Oh, hell no. I wouldn't think of that. I could care less on what color comes in. The only, see here, my forehead keeps growing. That's the problem. And the texture. The texture is so different. It's fluffy. It's like I'm a fluffy person. It's fluffy hair. So, Nikki says, did anyone hear about people testing positive on a Viking cruise ship? Whoa, no, that one I haven't heard. Jason says, Chillie is ageless. Yeah, no. Chillie doesn't feel ageless, I'll tell you that. And yeah, I admit, folks, I've been lucky at my age. not having any more gray. I mean, and it's thinning up here. I got some gray on the sides, but what the hell? I'm 72, 73 years old, whichever way you want to count it. I deserve to have some gray. Emily says, I've been having gray hair on both sides of my head for years. Yeah, I'm relatively lucky on that one. And I just seem to have a message on. Let's see if I can see what that message is from one of my. Let's see. Okay, that's a report from Independence of the Seas. I was checking on them this morning on the Galveston gang of ships. So I've been checking on their progress to see if any of them have heard anything on itinerary changes or schedule changes. They all got out of Galveston and have dodged the storm. So, all right. Tom Henry says, Monday I was at the foot doctor having the wrapping taken off, x-rays, and doctor checked foot, and rewrap next appointment 10 days. Still can't get the foot wet. Well, sorry about that, but I guess that's a good thing. Jason says, yeah, I was looking at Celebrity again. Man, I tell you what, that would be probably one of the first lines I would go on if I could get on a ship right now. Just because I've been really impressed with them through this mess. Wes Morrison posted an article on TWB Facebook page today. Looks like Viking has the COVID done best daily testing, and people seem to dislike getting a second test. Not sure what the big deal on the testing is. I wonder if Viking's paying for it or if they have to pay for it. That would be one of the things that there seems to have been some pushback from some of the people. Cindy says, I've never done Celebrity. I've got a Royal Caribbean cruise planned in February of 22, NCL in April of 22. Nice. Confused, talking about cake or Chillie's hair. We were talking about both, Emily. We were talking about the cake, and I was talking about the cake, and somebody else was talking about my hair. Why would you ever be confused on this show? I can't imagine such a thing. That's good. That's funny, Emily. I know you weren't trying to be funny. Jack says he has gray hair, just need a lot more of it. Gretchen says keeping her hair blonde isn't cheap. Well, I don't mess with that. So, Tom Henry said that was him dinging. That was you dinging me with foot pics. Okay. Emily says I have to die for her sister's. For her sister's wedding in November. I see. Jason says, Tom, take care of yourself and your foot. We all need to do a group cruise at some point. Yeah, that would be tremendous fun. I probably will do something like that as soon as I get to go ahead to cruise again, whenever that may be. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I will see everybody again tomorrow on Wednesday, Travel and Cruise Industry News. It's going to be hot here in Bedford County today, up like 96 or something. So I'm going to go try to get in the pool. That's been the last couple of days. I've gone out and stuck my foot in it, and it was too cold to get in. So I'm going to probably try it today. So that's ahead for me. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I will see everybody tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, for the Wednesday edition of Travel and Cruise Industry News with the old fat travel guy. For now, later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.